Have you ever wondered why some months you ovulate early and other months much later, even when your period seems regular? Many people assume ovulation always happens on day 14. But in reality, ovulation does not follow a fixed calendar date. The real answer lies in something called the follicular phase, one of the most important yet often misunderstood parts of the menstrual cycle. These are the days that actually decide when ovulation will happen and whether it happens at all. Let's understand this clearly. What is the follicular phase? The follicular phase begins on the day 1 of your period, the first day of bleeding. It continues until ovulation occurs. So yes, your period is not separate from your fertile cycle. It is actually the beginning of it. Here is the key point. The follicular phase is the variable part of your cycle. This is what makes one cycle 24 days and another 32 days. What about the second half? The second half of the cycle is called the luteal phase. It begins after ovulation and ends when the next period starts. In most healthy ovulatory cycles, the luteal phase length is relatively stable. It usually lasts about 12 to 14 days. It changes very little from month to month. In contrast, the follicular phase can vary in length each cycle. And when the follicular phase length changes, the timing of ovulation shifts. That's why ovulation does not happen on the same day every month, even if your periods look regular. What your brain is doing? Right after your period begins, your brain releases a hormone called FSH, follicle stimulating hormone. FSH travels through the bloodstream to the ovaries and sends a clear signal. It's time to start preparing an egg. Inside each ovary, there are many small fluid-filled sacs called follicles. Each follicle contains one immature egg. At the beginning of every cycle, several follicles start growing at the same time, almost like a group of candidates. However, only one follicle becomes dominant. The others gradually stop growing and are naturally reabsorbed by the body. The rate at which this dominant follicle grows determines when ovulation will occur. If it grows slowly, ovulation happens later. If it grows faster, ovulation happens earlier. What your ovaries are doing? As the dominant follicle grows inside the ovary, it produces a hormone called estrogen. Estrogen performs 3 important roles during this stage of the cycle. Number 1, it rebuilds the uterine lining after your period. Number 2, it improves cervical mucus, helping sperm survive longer. Number 3, it signals the brain to prepare for ovulation. As estrogen rises, you may notice certain natural changes. Clear, stretchy discharge, improved mood, increased energy, better focus. These are signs that your body is naturally preparing for possible conception. Why ovulation timing changes? Ovulation does not happen on a fixed calendar day. It occurs only when the dominant follicle becomes fully mature. If the follicle grows slowly, ovulation will be delayed. If it grows more quickly, ovulation will happen earlier. This means your fertile window can shift from one cycle to another. That is why calendar-based prediction alone can sometimes miss ovulation. What affects the follicular phase? Several factors can influence how the follicle develops. Stress, poor sleep, sudden weight changes, PCOS, thyroid imbalance, illness. If the follicle does not mature properly, ovulation may be delayed or may not happen in that cycle. This often shows up as a late period. However, the delay usually begins earlier during the follicular phase. How to track it correctly? Instead of guessing dates, track hormone signals. Ovulation predictor kits detect the LS surge, the final hormonal signal released after the follicles has matured. So remember, the follicular phase determines when that surge will occur. When you understand the follicular phase, you stop guessing. Understand the phase, predict ovulation and time correctly. Use ovulation tracking tools and apps like Primum to follow your real cycle, not an average one. Your body does not follow a calendar. It follows hormones. And once you understand them, fertility becomes clearer.